everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, and today I'm here to talk about the importance of listing every single day. I'm going to show you a real example of something that I did recently that had affected my sales and just why it's so important to be listing daily. I don't think a lot of people realize just how important it is, but I hope this experiment that I did will really prove that to you and show you how important it is, and maybe you'll start listing daily and you'll start seeing those daily sales. If you want to see another video like this, I do a lot of videos that are helpful tips and tricks for Poshmark and reselling in general. Make sure that you're subscribed so you never miss a future video that I do here on this channel, but let's get right into this video. Okay, so I always say that I swear by listing every single day, and for the most part, I do that like 99% of the time. But this past weekend, I was really busy, I had a lot going on, and I just lost track of time. I'm always the first one to say don't make excuses because I have a full drafts folder and I have a bunch of photos on my phone of things that were ready to go. I just forgot to do it, and it really showed in my sales. I'm going to show you a graph of basically the days that I skipped listing, and you can see the days that I skipped getting sales, and they're kind of correlated. I stopped making sales around the exact same time that I stopped listing, and it just so happens that the rest of the month was very consistent for me. And so it just goes to show that like this really makes a huge difference. So I didn't really list consistently for the last couple of days of the month, and that really made a difference because then my sales were kind of slow. And I think it took like about a day or so for it to be really effective, which means that like the day that you stop listing, you might be okay, but then the next day is where you'll start to really see that, you know, the sales slow down. And I want to make it clear, the only reason I made the sale on this one day that you can see here is actually because I had friends share my items in a live show and help me sell them for me. But if it wasn't for that live show, I would have skipped like 4 or 5 days in a row, which again is completely unheard of for me. And I can't remember the last time I did that, probably a few years back, when I skipped that many days in a row. It's really important to list every day, and I realized that by not listing every day. And so then on the last day of the month, I actually realized, oh, I did skip a lot of days, let me get back into it. So I like double listed, and I tried to do like way more than I was already doing prior to that. And then the next day, which is today, is actually when I started getting sales again. So I started getting a couple sales. I think I got 2 or 3 so far. So it makes a difference, and you really need to do it daily. And again, I see so many people that don't bother listing and that don't think it's important. And this is exactly a reason why it is important, because my sales slowed the minute I stopped listing daily. You have to list every single day of the week. You can't just list one day and hope that that's going to carry you through the week. You have to be consistent with it because, like I said, this example proves why that is so important to do, and it proves that the way to get consistent sales is to list every day. And like I mentioned, you could clearly see in the beginning of the month when I was listing every single day, my sales were very consistent every day. I was getting them pretty much every day, and I wasn't having to do much different than what I was already doing. So it just really goes to show that listing made a huge difference. It's crazy to me because I know a lot of people that don't list at all, and like they just wait for people to buy things that are in their closet, or they say, I'm not going to list things until things start selling. And for me, especially on Poshmark, I just don't think that makes sense, because Poshmark is a platform that you have to be active and you have to be doing things for you to get success. So people are like, oh, it's the platform for me, I'm not getting any sales, you know, they're not pushing me. They're probably not pushing you because you're probably not listing, and they know, the algorithm knows who's listing and who isn't. So make sure that you're listing every single day. Do not skip days, because you'll see exactly that like what happened to me is going to happen to you. And yeah, you may get lucky here and there, you know, you might get one lucky day where people find your listings, but if you consistently get off of the listing streak, you're gonna like really see that with your sales, and it's gonna be hard to get back on the algorithm, because I feel like, yeah, you miss one day here and there, it's fine, but if you miss like 5-6 days in a row, it's gonna be hard. And that's why I always say, like, don't put your closet on vacation hold unless you have no other choice, because putting your closet on vacation hold is basically saying that you're not gonna be active on Poshmark. You're not gonna list, you're not gonna share, you're not gonna participate in any other way. And to me, that is saying to Poshmark, hey, don't push my closet because I'm away. I don't want my listings to be discovered. But then it's really hard to get back in the groove once you get back from vacay. And so I haven't put my closet on vacation hold in about 4-ish years. Now, granted, I don't really go on vacation much, but even if I did, I wouldn't, because again, it's really affected sales in the past when I did that. And that was even before I started listing daily and really figured out the algorithm. I realized back then it was a bad idea, but I really still do think that it's a bad idea to this day. And I don't recommend putting your closet on vacation hold for the exact same reason that I recommend listing daily. Now, there's not really a sweet number of how many listings daily I think is important. I used to do 1 a day because that's all I had. And then for the majority of this year, I was doing 8 a day. And then this month I decided I'm going to up that to 10 so I could really get through my death pile and really start like driving more sales to my closet so I could have a better month. And so there's not really a sweet number that's like, this is the perfect amount, but I do think like maybe 5 or above is a really good amount to do, because I feel like that's going to generate the most sales, because you have more things that people are going to look for. If you only list 1 a day, it's not really giving a lot of options for people to look at for new items. So for those returning buyers, it's not really giving them much flexibility on more things that you've listed that they want. But if you're doing 5 a day, that really adds up, and that just, again, pushes you more in the algorithm. I want to say the more that you list, the better you'll be, but I don't know if that's a guarantee, because again, I haven't really tested listing more than, I think, 10 each day. I used to do 30 total, and I would do 15 relists and 15 lists, but I haven't done that ever since the new policy. I maybe want to start relisting again, because I think that also helps generate sales, but I do know that I haven't really listed more than, say, 15-ish in a day. So I don't know if I listed like, say, 20, 25, 30 each day, if that would give me more success. I'm sure it would. And again, the bigger the closet size, the better. But it's all experimentation, and it's all just finding out what works for you. I found that listing anything more than 5 a day was going to help me get consistent daily sales. And for the most part, I do. I only miss days here and there. And this month was a clear example of, you know, me not listing and me not doing the things that I was supposed to do to get those daily sales. But for the most part, I really don't miss days of sales throughout the month. In fact, I went on a whole streak from like July to May, I think, without missing a day, because again, consistency is important and they do reward consistency. So hopefully this, you know, means something to you. Hopefully you understand why it's so important to list daily. I was kind of upset that this happened because, again, I haven't really missed this many days in a row or in a month in a long time, but I just wanted to put this together to be transparent, to really tell you why it's so important to be listing daily and what will happen if you don't list daily, because I don't think people really understand the consequences. They just think, oh, well, it's important, but I don't really want to do it. I'm lazy, whatever the case may be. But if you don't list, this is exactly what's going to happen. And so like this is picture perfect proof that it does happen. So it's important to be listing so this doesn't happen to you. Hopefully you can learn from this video, and if you're not already listing daily, just try it out. Try it out for a few weeks and just see what will happen. You will be surprised at how many sales you're able to make because you were listing more often. Okay, if you want to see another video on some features that you should be using on Poshmark that'll help you have more success on the platform, you could click right here. And if you want to see another video on the biggest problems that I find that Poshmark has and maybe my suggestions on how they can fix those, you could click right here. But until next time, I will see you then.